Now, please look at the two options displayed on the screen. And I want you to think about it really carefully. If you can only choose one of them as somewhere that you're going to spend your whole life with, which one would you choose? A fast-developing metropolis or a peaceful and quiet countryside? Now let's do a quick show of hands. If you want to live in a city when you grow up, please raise your hand. Thank you. Now, what about countryside? Like, how many of you prefer to stay in countryside? Okay. To be honest, from what I saw, most of you guys raise your hands for city life. And it's not difficult to understand, since the benefits that urban life brings us make it impossible for us to refuse it. From more job variety to affluent educational resources, from advanced technology to exciting entertainment facilities, city life provides us everything we want. But here it comes to the question. Does being surrounded with those hottest, fastest, strongest, richest technological products truly provide us with a good quality of life from every perspective? Well, remember that at the same time, more high-paying occupation also results in more stress, competition, and crowding. While unhealthy diet, excessive screen time, and tons of rubbish production per day also give rise to more obesity, myopia, and pollution. However, in rural areas, land is greener, sky is bluer, and the air is much fresher. Without being surrounded by noises and endless phone calls, we can live healthier, either physically or mentally. Sounds like an ideal way to live, but is the reality always like this? In fact, due to the huge economic gap between urban and rural, poverty and facilitation deficiencies still exist in those remote areas. Moreover, background technology and shortage of service makes people's life there extremely inconvenient. So basically, if you consider about this question more carefully, you'll find that it's actually hard to decide. For most of us, we appreciate the stunning views of countryside, but we didn't want to give up our career in the cities. We want to escape from the intense work schedule in the cities, but we cannot stand the extremely slow internet being rural. So that's why we need a balance, an alternative that perfectly combines the benefits of both options, which is what we call the garden city. The concept of garden city is initially coined in 2018, and to integrate the ecological green space in rural areas into urban texture, allowing residents to enjoy an ecological environment similar to that in countryside within the city. Absolutely abstract. Basically, it's just something like everybody loves gardens. So we build our city as a garden, that's all. But this garden includes everything we want, and includes everything we hate. However, I have to say that all we have now is just a bunch of compromises. But the lucky thing is that we already got plenty of ideas for it. One of those ideas said that in order to create a garden city, concrete boxes should be replaced with giant plants. Well, it doesn't mean that we're going to convert our skyscrapers into sky apple trees. It actually stands for the building that involves green space and energy-saving design, which enables it to purify the air, to reuse the resources, or to generate useful energy, just like one of the plants does. And this concept is commonly used in the construction of Singapore, among which PCP Hotel stands out as an excellent example, thanks to its unique sky gardens and rainwater collection system. Some people suggest that we can also take a step back and let nature to clean up the mess we left behind. For example, rather than letting our vast and fragile housing beneath the city, when we just simply add lakes and wetlands for help, enabling those hardened soils to regain the ability to store, absorb, and purify water. This idea is known as the sponge city, and Bangkok puts it off wonderfully by successfully transforming an abundant factory into an urban ecological park. Nowadays, over 8,000 square meters of sewage pass through the park and become clean water. However, a garden city does not simply mean a city with lots of gardens. Instead, we need to transform a city with lots of gardens into a garden city. And the key is to create connections. But true connection is never as simple as placing several pots of plastic balls along your way. It should be a continuous and immersive natural experience for people walking through, which means one day when you are on your way to school, you won't just pass by the garden anymore. Instead, you will walk right through it. And the up-to-date construction of Jiang Park in Chengdu, which is in our city, has given a fresh idea to make it happen. Through a collection of inspiration, this floating park spanning on the Jiang River truly achieves the integration of bridge and garden, bringing a vivid connection between the garden and our city. So you see, there's no right or wrong answer on this topic. Different cities have their unique methods and novel ideas. Although they're presented in different ways, they all try their best to let nature no longer or not only a decorator of urban construction, but also a member or even a leader of it. Rather than isolated from land, sea, and sky, we're now trying to get in touch with them, just like what we used to do. But the weird thing is that, although the urban planning like this is asked to integrate our lives, but why it still seems to be something that's far away from us? Like most people in Chengdu know that it is a garden city, but perhaps most people's understanding of a garden city is just limited to a slogan seen everywhere on the roadside or a few more grasslands for weekend picnics. This is all because, for most of us, we passively accept the changes made by our city, regardless whether they are making sense or not. But if urban planning is affecting everybody's life, shouldn't everybody have a say in designing of their own city, just like having a chance to shape their own life? I know you might say, oh, this idea, this saying are brilliant, are fantastic, but I'm not an urban planner. So basically, I have nothing to do with that. Well, since these urban planners, they cannot copy themselves to play everybody's role in a city, right? So it is important that residents, namely ourselves, should become a participant. And one of the reasons why I'm standing here and giving out this speech is that I want to tell you, it's actually not that hard as you think it was to change where we live. Like, you don't have to build a garden or design a water collection system for a city. What you're encouraged to do is just saying how you feel about it. Maybe just like complaining about the congestion along your commuting road with your neighbors, or leaving a comment under the video of our city. Anyway, don't be silent. Share your life with your city. Because as more and more such kind of voices rise up, city will eventually present, and response taking place. By then, the urban planning of your city will become something right beside you. Now let's go back to the question at the beginning of the speech. And what I'm trying to tell you is that the way to improve your quality of life is not about moving from one location to another to live. Or you may provide you with a good quality of life, but if you're looking for better life quality, rather than shifting between rural or metropolis, we are encouraged to generate more options. And the garden city is just one of those countless possibilities. Because the next page here is for you. Now, all these kind of possibilities can only come to the reality by collision of ideas, by insight and experience, and by your voice. Thank you.